Keeping Up with Jones, the Lonnie Jones podcast adventure, is sponsored by us. What? We sponsor ourselves? Is that even legal? Check us out on Amazon. You can have access to the titles of Pedagogue, the youth ministry book by Lonnie Jones, Cognitive Spiritual Development, a Christ-centered approach to spiritual self-esteem, Grappling with Life, Controlling Your Inside Space, a small essay using the principles of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to talk about psychological and emotional self-defense, If I Were a Mouse, a children's book written and illustrated by Lonnie Jones, and then The Selfish Reel, a very short story about a decision. Also, you can check out our YouTube channel to see archived lessons and presentations from across the country, some videos with rope tricks and knots. Don't forget to visit the Facebook page 550 Guys to learn about the little rope men that we make and that we invented and that we make. And then be sure to click like, subscribe, and share. This is Keeping Up with Jones, the Lonnie Jones podcast adventure. Faulkner University announces a 60% tuition discount for members of the Church of Christ. Now, there are some guidelines. This 60% tuition reduction is applicable to adult undergraduate Bible degrees or graduate Bible degrees from the Curley Graduate School of Theology in the VP Black College of Biblical Studies. You must satisfy all admission requirements and maintain satisfactory academic progress. You must remain continuously enrolled, including summers, until the completion of the degree. You must provide a letter from an elder or minister, preferably on church letterhead, verifying that you're an active member of a Church of Christ congregation prior to your initial enrollment. This offer applies to adult undergraduate degrees such as biblical studies, youth and family ministry tracks, and it also includes graduate degrees. And those are the Master of Arts in Biblical Studies, the Master of Arts in Family Life Ministry, or a Master of Theology, and it also applies to the PhD in Biblical Studies. For undergraduate inquiries, please contact Adult Enrollment, 334-386-7140, 334-386-7140, or Adult Enrollment at Faulkner edu. That is Adult Enrollment at faulkner.edu. For graduate inquiries, please call 334-386-7539, 334-386-7539. Graduate enrollment at faulkner.edu. That is graduate enrollment at faulkner.edu. Faulkner University is a sponsor of Keeping Up with Jones, the Lonnie Jones podcast adventure. TKM Incorporated in Moss, Tennessee is a construction company that specializes in erosion control, seeding, and soil, hydroseeding, hydromulch, minor excavation, and silt fence. They also provide traffic control and construction signs. Their business is keeping people safe, but their passion, their mission, is they wish that all men could be saved. TKM has adopted the nickname the King's Men because as they serve you, they also serve the King. If they could provide any of their services for you, please contact them at 931-243-3958. That is 931-243-3958. Or you can contact them on the net at tkminc2001 at twlakes.net. That is tkminc2001 at twlakes.net. TKM Incorporated is a sponsor of Keeping Up with Jones, the Lonnie Jones podcast adventure. The scene is a high mountain setting. As the camera zooms in, you see a vertical rock escarpment. Sitting on top of that escarpment is a majestic bird. It's got a 4.5 foot tall, solid black body, with a gleaming white head and a gleaming set of tail feathers and a golden yellow beak. The majestic bald eagle is sitting above the valley, and it's either a rolling plain or a sparkling river. And then the majestic bald eagle leaps from its perch, spreads its wings and is wafted into the air effortlessly as it is silhouetted by the sun against a cobalt blue sky. And then it utters the piercing cry of the red-tailed hawk. Yes, you heard that correctly. Most of the eagles you hear in Hollywood are actually eagles with red-tailed hawk voiceovers. Red-tailed hawks have a loud, raspy, piercing scream, whereas eagles typically issue a series of high-pitched chirps or tweets. If you visited the eagle family and you sat in at dinner time and you heard the male eagle, you heard these series of chirps and tweets, the male eagle would sound like a henpecked husband trying to explain to his eagle wife, Karen, why he brought Dr. Thunder instead of Dr. Pepper to the community cookout, why the dishes aren't done, why the laundry isn't folded, and why he's wearing socks with his Crocs. If you're visiting in the living room of Mr. and Miss Eagle and it's Miss Eagle who's doing the talking, the female eagle sounds like Karen the eagle, asking her husband to explain why he can't just follow the simple rules and put the recycling in the proper can instead of all the garbage in one can, and he needs to put on his Crocs and go outside and bring both cans in so he can sort them out. You see, if you use the real voice of an eagle in the scenes where eagles are used in scenes in the movies, it would sound like Thor with the voice of Steve Urkel, or maybe Iron Man with the voice of C-3PO. You see, unless you've spent a lot of time around eagles, you really don't know what they sound like because Hollywood refuses to let you know what an eagle really sounds like. You see, someone in Hollywood decided what eagles really sound like doesn't sound right. Now, I think the guy who made the eagles might take issue with this because the guy who made the eagles installed the sound package and said, hey, this is what eagles sound like. And guess what? That's what eagles sound like. So why not just use a red-tailed hawk? I mean, they're big birds. They're majestic. They soar on the wing. Why not just use a red-tailed hawk with his own voice? Well, not everybody knows what a red-tailed hawk looks like. Everybody knows what an eagle looks like. And if you used a red-tailed hawk with his own voice, you'd lose the point of the scene because everybody would be wondering, hey, what kind of bird is that? But in the end, you show an eagle and you use the voice of a red-tailed hawk, and it's not really an eagle. It's an eagle with the red-tailed hawk voiceover. The sound of the hawk with the image of an eagle. And either way, you get an error. You get the double error. The thing that makes the sound doesn't really look like that. And the thing that looks like that doesn't really make the sound. You've ruined both the eagle and the hawk. And it seems to me that we are often a victim of someone else's decision of what things should look like and what things should sound like. And if we tested how the thing should appear or how the thing should really sound, we've been so accustomed to someone else telling us what they look like and sound like, we might balk at the real thing. If you've ever seen an eagle take wing, if you've ever seen an eagle soar, if you've ever seen an eagle sit majestically on a high perch or gather prey up in its talons, what an eagle sounds like really becomes irrelevant. You see, Steve Miller sang a song, Fly Like an Eagle, not sing like one. But someone decided that the image of a soaring raptor was incongruous with the sound that it actually makes and decided this is what it should sound like. And the sound they gave it was fake. It wasn't truly what it sounded like. It was disingenuous. It was misleading. And I guess if you want to be harsh about it, it was actually a lie. I wonder how much of our information is filtered through someone else's agenda of what this should or shouldn't sound like, or the image they expect us to accept. You see, based on what we've seen, based on what we've heard, based on what we listened to, how many of us have decided that this is the image and the sound of success or happiness or contentment or peace or satisfaction or balance or love or marriage? How many times have we fallen victim to the idea of an edited reality? And when it comes to the look and sound of a truly fulfilled life, when it truly comes to the look and the sound of a healthy life or successful life, then what we expect and what is reality don't actually match each other. love should feel like this. Well, no, love is an attitude that really has very little to do with feeling. Once I've made a promise, once I've made a vow to love someone, success should sound like this. Success should look like this. Success should feel like this. You see, success should be measured by this. And all this time, this thing they call success is actually the image of an eagle with a hawk's voice, or it's a hawk's voice with an eagle's body, and it's fake. And it's not real. It really doesn't look like that. And it really doesn't sound like that. Neither one of them, the image or the sound, are an accurate representation. Neither one of them are real. You see, when we decide to accept somebody else's image or somebody else's sound of success, then we spend an awful lot of time fooling ourselves because we have been fooled, and we pursue something that's not attainable because it's not real. I recently read that people want what you have until they know what you went through to get it. Dave Ramsey has a quote that says, "Live like no one else so you can live like no one else." One of my favorite quotes is about intentional adversity. Do what others will not do so you can do what others cannot do. I also like the idea of choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Success, fulfillment, happiness, having a good marriage is choosing between what is right rather than what is easy, fun, appealing, comfortable, or convenient. And when you start thinking about what success looks like and you start thinking about what success sounds like, real success is not effortless. It is full of effort. Because you see, effort can and does oftentimes make up for talent. But talent without effort is essentially the same as being untalented. Success isn't the byproduct of being gifted. Success is the direct product of being dedicated to hard work and using your gifts, even if your gifts don't look and don't sound like the media or social media tells you they ought to look and sound. It's showing up every day consistently and just putting in the hard work, paying the dues, paying the rent on whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And oftentimes that doesn't fit the Hollywood idea. Oftentimes it doesn't fit the idea that this is how easy it is and how fun it is. Now, there are things that are not fun that are fulfilling. I don't enjoy working out. I enjoy having worked out. I don't enjoy the actual product of controlling my diet and trying to be healthy, but I don't enjoy that process. I enjoy the product of maintaining good health, maintaining balance, maintaining a proper blood sugar level, maintaining a proper heartbeat, maintaining a proper blood pressure. You see, success isn't the byproduct of our gifts. It's the byproduct of our gifts plus the effort that we apply to them. And that's really not what a lot of times the social media or the media wants us to think it looks like or sounds like. Success, discipline, happiness, contentment, fulfillment doesn't always look like it sounds, and doesn't always sound like it looks. Using the tool of shortwave radio, World Christian Broadcasting literally covers the world every day with the gospel. They use 2 large curtain antennas. One is located in Anchor Point, Alaska, and the other in Madagascar. They send out messages that are recorded at their international home in Franklin, Tennessee. They make available 40 hours of broadcast every day. The broadcasts are made in English, Chinese, Russian, Spanish, Portuguese, Korean, English for Africa, and Arabic. They would love for your group to visit them. You can bring your ladies group, your youth group, or your men's group. Just give them a call at 615-371-8707, 615-371-8707, or you can go to 3Ws and a dot, worldchristian.org, find the Donate Here button, and make a financial contribution to support this work that literally covers the world every day with the gospel. World Christian Broadcasting in cooperation with Keeping Up with Jones, the Lonnie Jones podcast adventure.